Hey everybody, Rootboot22 coming back at you again with another gear review. These are the LL Bean Cresta hiking boots, made of full grain Italian leather, fully steel grommeted hardware, Vibram bonded outsoles, and they're Gore-Tex. Alright, so let's get on to this review. I bought these boots a couple years ago at LL Bean in Mansfield, Massachusetts. I paid just under $200 for the boots. It was a very big decision for me, very big purchase, yes, but 100% satisfaction guarantee for life. Vibram soles, Italian bonded leather, Gore-Tex. I mean, how can you go wrong, right? First off, let me just say, when you buy these boots, they are very stiff. I have put a lot of miles in these boots, and I've basically beat the crap out of them, and they still hold up strong. I mean, I've been pretty much everywhere with these boots, and they still look relatively new. Let me just point out some key features to these things. First off, you got these. It's all leather hardware. This is the original laces. They're still not even snagged. I've gone the winter, summer, spring, fall, every season, all types of weather. Completely amazing. Fully gusseted, you can see here, all the way to the top. The Gore-Tex lining on the inside here. I have stood in streams, mud puddles, everything. Rain, not one drop has ever gotten in these boots. And basically you're set to right about here to go stand in the water. And one major thing that I have a problem with bonded soles is that right here, right there, they separate. These things have not separated. Not once. Now, you notice in my last shoe review on the Keens, they did separate, and they separated pretty early on in the game. And these still haven't. I mean, I've got a couple marks here. This one was from a rock or something. And also here is also from a rock. That was from the Stepstone Falls hike, the first one. Let's take a look at these soles. Very good soles. Excellent dry traction, excellent wet traction, rocks, mud, roots, everything. That's actually how I got my name, Root Boot, was because I always would trip and fall over every root, and I would keep smashing my feet into them and tripping and falling on my face. So I got the name Root Boot. Because I had terrible luck in the mud and everything else. Always breaking something, falling over, and as you can see, I definitely put a lot of wear into these toe caps, and they're still holding up very strong. I did replace the insoles with Superfeet green. I don't know what I call them. I put Superfeet green insoles in there by recommendation by Nut and Fancy. He's a great guy. Check out his videos. NUTN FANCY, Nut and Fancy. Now, just a little something up here I wanted to mention. On the sides here, you got a lot of action going on, right? All sorts of action going on. Now, on any other pair of boots that I've had, when you get this kind of stuff, that's just an invitation for water to come in, for mud to come in, for the stitching to come apart and everything else. This has never happened. It's never ever happened. I swear it to you. Now, these boots are expensive, but that's because they're Gore-Tex, and also they're fully bonded Italian leather. Like it's one big piece of leather. There's very few stitches. There's only a stitch here in the heel, and just coming up the back. Those are really the only stitching points, which really helps to make these things very waterproof. And people say, leather doesn't breathe. Well, guess what? I have pretty much, and I think I can safely say, the sweatiest feet in the face of the earth. My feet sweat like you wouldn't believe. If I stood on the edge of a rock, I could probably make a waterfall. It's pretty nasty, but these boots have kept me warm and dry. For some strange reason, these things breathe better than sandals for me. I sweat more in sandals than I do in these boots. And it's crazy. I have no idea how, because there isn't any part of this boot that is mesh. It's all leather. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is. they're great boots. They really are. I would highly recommend them if you have the means and also the need to get sort of a heavier set of boots. These like backpacking boots, mountain. I use these mainly in the wintertime in the snow and in the mud and that kind of thing. But I am going to be wearing them more. And I want to keep on breaking them in because every time you wear these pair of boots, they get better and better. So I am going to be wearing them more because they are getting broken in, they are getting softer, and that's good. Let's get a better view of these things. You know, and also with the Gore-Tex, I've been very pleased. This is my first set of Gore-Tex footwear, and I didn't know if I wanted to believe all the hype, but it is very good. I'm very pleasantly surprised that these are at these boots. You know how good they are, and especially for in the wintertime. Now I haven't myself. I don't go mountaineering or anything like that, but I do have some of the equipment from my uncle. He spent a lot of time in Alaska, and he acquired some things for winter camping, winter hiking, ice hiking, that kind of thing. And if you ever seen like a set of crampons, like on the people that go on the Mount Everest and all that, you know, you see those like spiky feet things. These are crampon compatible, and I do have a set, and they hook up very nicely. And they're an old style set. You know, I am gonna like reprofile the edges with like a grinder or a sander or something like that, just to make them a little bit sharper. But these are crampon compatible, and part of the reason why they can do that is because the sole itself is so stiff. It's not like you don't feel like you're walking in sneakers. You feel like you're walking in a pair of boots, you know. But at the same time, with all the stiffness and all the support, you still get a great feel for the ground that you're walking on, and you also get a great feel. Like it's a very good balancing feature. They're great. I mean, I love Vibram soles. They're awesome. I had a pair of Merrell Intercepts, and I walked through those things, and I had them for quite a long time, and the Vibram soles held up. The shoe held up too, but I'm very surprised at how well these are holding up, especially for like a work boot style sole here. But I'll show you in here. Pretty much the same as the Keens. They do have sort of like a foot-specific sole on these things. Very tight treads up here where your toes are, and that helps to give the instep a lot more traction. And on the outside it is more gappy, so you know, like when I'm walking I use the front of my feet, and this really helps me gain a lot of traction that way because it is multi-directional. It's not just those like plus signs and the lines like regular construction boots. That's what I used to wear hiking, and then I got a pair of these instead. Took me a long time to save up though. I was working as a janitor when I got these things, and it took me like 2 months to save up the money to get these boots, but I'm very glad that I did. And just one thing about L Bean, they're a great company, and they have a 100% lifetime satisfaction guarantee. If one of their products fails, you can bring it right back. They give you a new pair, or they'll either try and fix it for you or replace it for free for life. So in theory, if I was able to walk out of these boots, you know, walk right through them 5 or 6 times, guess what? Every single time when I go back in there because I gave them my business and their product failed on me, even because of age, they replace it. That's something to be said for a company, that when their product wears out because it's old, they replace it for you. That's a good company right there. That's a really good company right there. And these boots, I can definitely see these are going to last me a long time. I think I got these when I was, I don't know, 18, 19 years old. I'm 22 now. And you can see how much wear these boots have on them. And they're still ready to rock and roll every day of the week. Every day of the week. And most of this damage is because of rocks. I can, you know, as anyone who's watching this video would know, I live in New England, and what is New England but rocks, you know. Excellent boot. Totally excellent. I would definitely recommend them. Once again, this is the Gore-Tex Cresta hiker boot from LL Bean. You can buy them online, or you can go into a store. They have an outlet store in Wareham. I'm not sure that they're going to have these there. They do have stores in Maine. There is one in New Hampshire, and there's also one in Mansfield, Massachusetts. Just go online to llbean.com and you can check out where your nearest store or outlet is. And if you know what size, you don't mind mailing something back, you can always go on to llbean.com. They're a great company to buy from. Really great customer service, and they also have live help on the site. And it's not some idiot on the other end of the live help. They actually know what they're talking about. I spent a good deal of time talking to them about these boots, and then I went into the store and I talked to them more about them, and they actually let me walk around the store for a good hour and a half in a pair of boots, and I ended up buying them. You know, of course they had an eye on me, you know, just to make sure I didn't walk out the store with the product, but I mean, that's a pretty good deal right there, you know, because you don't know if they're going to really fit you right away, because boots like these, they're very stiff when you buy them, so they're going to hurt for a little while until you break them in. But they just get comfortable as the day goes on, you know. They're a really great boot, and I would definitely recommend checking out LL Bean. The stuff is a little bit pricey, but I mean, what isn't these days in the hiking world? You know, you want to get gear, you want to get good equipment, and half the companies it takes like you have to break an arm and a leg just to get them on the phone to see if they'll warranty you. I mean, the only thing that you have to do to register these things is to go in the LL Bean store and buy them. Everything's labeled LL Bean right on it, you know. It's not like they're going to be like, oh, you bought this at some other store. Because they don't sell it in any other store. So they know you bought it from them. And it doesn't matter when you bought it because you bought it from them. So, bingo, bango, bongo. Something fails on you, you go right back. They'll replace it for free or give you your money back. Money back with receipt, I believe. If you don't have the receipt, then you get a credit if you want to try something else, or they'll just replace it for free. Really great company. Definitely recommend checking them out. Thank you very much for watching my review of the LL Bean Gore-Tex Cresta Hikers, and may your boots meet every mile. I know mine have.